So we'll just fire questions at you and let's see how we go.
I'm the Senior Creative Services Manager in the global marketing team, and that pretty much means that anything that we're doing for digital advertising that has a creative element, which is more and more, especially in a global team, I am, overseeing and collaborating with people to produce.
What was your journey to Warner?
Very circuitous. I used to be in Australia, where I'm from, and I was working at an agency there that did a whole bunch of different music and creative projects. And during my time there, I worked on Warner, and I also worked with Sony and Universal on various projects as well. And I decided I wanted to come and live in the UK. When I moved here, a friend of mine from Australia was working at Atlantic. She introduced me to some people here, and a job came up, and I was lucky enough to get it. Yes, it's hard to pick one, but the obvious one, which was pretty much up and running but when I started last year, is the Brat project. That's obviously had a really big impact culturally around the entire world, and seeing, I've always been a huge Charli XCX fan, and seeing the way that her kind of stardom has catapulted in a way that she has controlled and really kept authentic to herself is very, very inspiring. And having such a strong creative vision from the artist at the core of the project enabled teams around the world to all do their thing and market and, promote her and bring the identity of the record to life in a way that still felt really authentic. So it was very cool. I'm very proud of it. It is changing by the hour, it feels. When I started working in music about 10 years ago, there was a huge focus on, less of a focus on streaming and a lot more of a focus on downloads still and things like that. And the industry was, trying to recalibrate as to what post-physical CD kind of era music industry looked like. So the, way that success is measured for a record has changed dramatically. And also when I started out, there was a big influence by websites and blogs and music magazines still, and that's completely dissipated over the last few years, pretty much since the pandemic. And more recently, it's becoming a lot more decentralized, and people's taste is no longer being informed by a select kind of few tastemakers. It's really diverse and ever-changing and constantly surprising. And whatever worked yesterday on a project is not necessarily a template you can provide to the next thing. It just changes so quickly. And then another thing I think that's changed a lot as well is the breadth of music that people are able to access and get into has increased, which is amazing. But the, ability for emerging artists to crack it into that next level and become superstars and become mass appealing, I think is a lot harder. I have no alternative. It's the only place that I could work every day. I've tried doing other things and studied, been to university and studied other stuff, but it's really just, I have such a passion for music that the more I spend thinking about it, the happier I am. And to find a job where every day's problem is about how can I get people to listen to some music is just keeps me inspired every day.